them being out in like the desert and them like, you know, it's in the middle of nowhere and they have all these wacky inflatable things.
What's it? Fuck. Oh my god, I'm
the Family Guy thing.
Yeah,
I know you can do
wacky
it.
wave inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky wave inflatable arm flailing tube man. Hi, Al Harrington here from Wacky wave inflatable arm flailing tube man warehouse and emporium.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Everyday Critics. I'm your host, George Lugo.
And I'm Manny Rivera.
If you guys never seen the show before, what we do is rate, review, and critique movies of all budgets, types, and genres.
With over 500,000 movies in existence, there's so many to get through. We love movies. We're three couple of guys, actually. There's three couple of guys, I'm going to say, that enjoy movies
why would he
so
say,
much.
Why would he say three couple of guys?
Because I said a couple of guys, so I went with three couple of guys, all right? Leave me alone.
So there's six of us?
But, but yeah, we enjoy movies so much that we wanted to do this and put our own points of view on how we feel about them.
Yeah. And just so we get this out of the way, spoiler alert. Yeah. All right. Spoiler alert. You've been warned. The movie we are reviewing today is Jordan Peele's third movie, Nope. I wanted to do this literally opening weekend. Mm-hmm. Saw it twice opening weekend. And the day that we set up to record this review, I got COVID. So we had to put it off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then another person that we're missing, who was going to be our fourth review, or our
fourth couple of guy.
Our fourth couple of guy. He got COVID. So unfortunately, he cannot be here with us today. So I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy, Daniel.
We're going to cheers to him once we get these drinks.
Once we get the drinks going. So, no, directed and written by Jordan Peele. I know exactly how I felt when I walked out of this movie theater. I want to know exactly what you guys felt when you walked out of the theater.
Fear.
The first time around, I missed a little bit of it.
You were snoozing.
I actually had gotten off work really late to meet these guys up to go see the movie in theaters. And it was a really long and really crappy, shitty day. I did go back to see the movie again. And once I watched it fully, I thought it was actually a really good movie.
It was fantastic, right?
It was an amazing movie.
Let's start a review with like literally the opening sequence. It starts out with like a quote from the Bible or a verse, right?
A verse, I think.
In the opening sequence, we get some scripture, and this is the original scripture. It's a little bit different, and I believe it's like New Testament, the one that Jordan used. But it was, "I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt and make you a spectacle." And I think in the new scripture it says, "I will pelt you with filth, and I will make you vile, and make you a spectacle." I believe is the newer one. So it's Nahum 3:6, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
So the whole opening sequence is like what sets up the tone for the movie. I think what makes this opening sequence so terrifying is just the sheer terror that there is something that's out of control. There's something that they were trying to make money off of. They were trying to make money off a living creature because it was just like, it's a spectacle to look at, you know, like the chimp in the TV show. And then like the thing is like we think we can control things like that, but to be honest, you can't control things like that. They're kind of like out of our control. So when these things all of a sudden turn, now we have a crazy spectacle, which is the whole opening sequence is just a spectacle.
Yeah, I've never had like a movie really give me like that ominous and scary feeling right off the bat. Like I've seen scary movies before, but just the entrance to the movie, just the way it felt, it was kind of just spooky right off the bat. You know, it was just like deserted and just.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to.
It made me feel like, oh man, it was a little bit.
It's supposed to put you. It's supposed to put you at like, make you feel uneasy.
Yeah, it was
and instill fear in you, because now it's like I said, you're not in control.
Exactly.
And
I was afraid,
and now you're like literally fearing for your life. And with something as innocent as a chimpanzee could be, but they're still, those are still terrifying creatures. I mean,
serious.
There's some loose beliefs that this was actually based off a real incident that happened. There was like this lady, I forget her name. But she was it Chelsea?
Chelsea Hannon or something.
Chelsea Handler? I believe it.
No,
No, just kidding. Chelsea.
I think it was Chelsea something
Hannah?
and something or other like
Yeah,
that.
but she had a chimp and she had a friend over, and the chimp got jealous.
Well, no, that's not true. There was a couple back in the 90s that raised the chimp and from infancy. And that chimp was actually in commercials in the 90s. They did the
he
whole
was
Navy,
in commercials,
like,
but
and stuff
what
like
happened
that.
was this didn't happen on screen. This
This
happened
didn't happen on
privately.
screen. I was just doing, yeah, exactly.
happened privately.
So they were actually going out of town, and that was their friend that was going to be watching the monkey. So as she's
ape,
met the
not a
monkey
monkey.
quite a few times
But she had a friend over. There was two people there.
There was two
There was two
there
people
for
there.
sure.
Yeah.
There was two people there for sure. But
I don't want to go too far into that story.
I'll tell you the story later.
I don't want to go too far into that story, but I just want to say it's loosely based on that kind of stuff.
Thank
Thank you, David.
Yep.
Even some of the imagery, like of his co-host later in the movie, she shows up almost like just identically to the lady who showed up on the Oprah Winfrey show.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of nerve-wracking because I watched that special with Oprah Winfrey, and they had that 911 phone call.
Yeah.
And that's right when I was watching this whole scene in the beginning with Gordy. It brought me right back to that, and just all I heard was that sound of sheer terror from the phone call.
Oh yeah. No.
Which, by the way, I will post a link to the phone call. So if you have the guts to listen to it,
yeah,
it is so disturbing.
It's fucking terrifying.
It's so disturbing.
Real quick though, we got these blue drinks here. David, what are we drinking here?
It's a recipe called the Out Yonder, which I stole from AMC. Because I don't give a fuck. This is fucking ridiculous, dude. It was like $50 for 3 little baby ass drinks. Like,
They were pretty small.
they were tiny. And the
It
bar,
tasted fine, but I mean, they're small.
AMC, if you're watching, I don't know what it is about you hiring the slowest fucking bartenders in the world.
He was so slow. There was like a line building up,
And they're
and
like,
it's just there were 3 small cocktails.
George and I ordered the same drink. So that's one easy peasy done.
Yeah,
And then the other person, like Danny, ordered something else.
yeah.
So, okay, that's one other cocktail you got to worry about. Cocktails should take no more than like a minute and a half kind of thing. You should know what it is. I know it's a new movie and stuff like that, but you should have a better idea of understanding how to build the drink and having things ready. But they were going so fucking slow. I'm like, oh my God.
There you go. You see, from our
Way too
bartender,
fucking
you guys
slow,
need to
dude.
go quicker.
I agree. He was so slow. It was like, I was like, come on, bro. I'm gonna miss the intro. I'm gonna miss the the other trailers.
I never made this drink before, so it took me a little while to just get everything ready, but it took me a little bit, however long
You
we've been
did
running.
3 of them though in a short amount of time that they did like 1. So
Yeah.
cool.
2.
We're cheers in here.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
I can't reach you, David. So just
Clink
To Daniel.
to Danny.
Sorry,
To Daniel.
buddy. Hope
Hope
you're
you
feeling
feel better.
better.
you feel better.
Oh,
A little powerful.
Ooh,
I think I'm a little heavy on the sweet and sour. What do you think?
I don't think so.
not the sweet and sour.
Really?
Vodka, I think.
Vodka is a little bit.
So let's pick up right where we left off with Gordy. So what do you guys think about the whole beginning where Gordy just mauls everybody and doesn't do anything to Jupe?
Well, I was on shrooms, gummy shrooms.
Guilty.
So I was ready. I was ready, terrified. Got a little upset with Manny because he kept asking questions about a trailer I've never seen before, and it was really
It was
bumming
like,
me
we're
out.
experiencing this at the same time, Manny.
Yeah,
Cool. Apparently you knew the story though. I was curious. You called it off right off the bat.
You know, you could really understand the story, man, if you watched the fucking movie.
yeah.
Just saying.
But
Just
yes, I was felt with a sense of fear because I was just like, it's that uncertainty, the unknown. You're just brought into this studio and you see this chimp and you're like confused about what's all going on.
Yeah.
It started to kind of get to me. I was like, oh shit, man, this movie better not, do too much. I might freak out and just run out. But then we're introduced to, oh my God, Haywood Sr., Otis,
Oh.
who's played by Keith David.
David.
And I love him. I could see his silhouette. I look, and I'm like, is that Keith David? And I hear that bellowing voice that he has. I'm like, holy shit, that's him. And so he made me feel so much better. It was like that calming sort of.
He really did.
It was a very calming voice that he has, and it just helped me.
There was a reason that he picked Keith David for that role because the role was so small, but he wanted to be he wanted that character, even though there was a small role, to be impactful.
Yeah.
So like he's like, who can I pick that's been like kind of done this
Been
genre of movies,
Yeah.
right? Like sci-fi, and Keith David, of course. I mean,
Who else?
I mean, he was in the John Carpenter's The Thing, They Live. I mean, he's done this kind of film before. So I mean,
he's got that ominous presence.
He also has that. He has that amazing voice.
Yeah, like, I don't fear anything. Things fear my voice. Like he's got that fucking voice,
Yeah.
He's. I love that guy. He's amazing in a lot of things.
Daniel Kaluuya, right?
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya.
He comes up, greets his dad, whatever, and his dad. They're kind of just having like a little sort of one-off conversation, and then things start falling from the sky. And at first, I thought they were getting shot at.
That's what I thought too. I thought they were like getting shot at.
But then, oddly enough, okay, I know he had a cell phone in his hand, but in my mind, I was thinking maybe this is like the spaceship, crashing, and it's the debris that led on for like a mile and a half.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And like in a Roswell incident.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the Roswell thing? I'm like, wait, no, he has a cell phone in his hand. That's not right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 1947. It's, whatever year it is. One of the things that falls out is, was it a nickel?
It was it was
so
some kind of coin.
lots of coins and small pieces of metal are falling around Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
And then he notices, like, he looks back at his dad, and his dad's like slumped over, and he's like, Dad, like, Pops, like, and he falls off the horse, and then like he runs towards him. And they cut to the scene where he's in the truck and he's trying to get him to. I think he was getting him to recite something.
Yeah,
to get his brain function.
I remember
working.
right. I think like something it like went through his eye or something.
No, it went through like the side right here by his temple, but it got lodged into his brain. They show an X-ray of it, and it's it's literally what they pull out of him.
His eye looked like
because it's torn. It's torn like right here.
So like
it's torn like right here, and so what they pull out of him was a nickel, and it got lodged into his brain.
Yeah, like
it's like there was a little bit of symbolism there. I mean, like later, like you don't know this immediately when it starts, but throughout the movie, like they talk about the Haywood family and the ranch that they're trying. Money's like a big deal, and they're always trying to make money because it's like a dying thing. So it's a little ironic that he gets killed by money falling from the sky.
I never thought about that. Yeah,
there's some symbolism there.
Shit.
Yeah,
this movie's chocked full of like symbolism. We'll try and point some out, but we want to keep it brief. So
yeah.
Before we go any deeper, I guess let's talk about like the cast and their performances. So let's.
Oh, wow.
Everybody was.
So let's start with Daniel Kaluuya. As always, he puts on a masterful performance.
He was so sort of like standoffish.
Yeah,
is the way he stands. His the tone of his voice. He's not very vocal when he speaks. He's kind of like.
He's not really a people person because he works with the horses all the time.
His demeanor, though, the way he like gives himself off, it's just
like I don't want to be here right now.
Like I don't want to be here, or like he's either contemplating about a lot of shit, or I don't know. He's just
you have to know that like so the opening scene, where the opening sequence with Keith David when he dies, and then the scene after that when he's on set.
Yeah,
those are 6 months apart.
Yeah. So he's probably
grieving. He's still grieving.
Yeah.
So his character's a little messed up.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure. Like that's understandable. I mean, you were fucking right there when you saw your dad slump.
Yeah, he saw his dad get
and it's
murdered,
a business
basically.
that you're trying to keep alive, and it's
But let's talk about some of the other cast, like Kiki Palmer. Holy fuck! Wow. I feel like she kind of stole the movie. Her character is probably like one of my favorites. Her and Brandon Perea.
So relatable, like you've met someone like her before in your life, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's so full of life, so energetic, just fun, easygoing,
bouncing off the wall. Yeah,
down to earth.
But
her character was great.
Yeah, she's so like lovely and adorable, kind of thing.
Yeah, but she's still definitely like she's looking like she's like a child. She needs her brother to do things for her because he's like the adult, like grown up version.
She did make mention that she has a daughter, but we never get to see her.
We never get to see her. Yeah,
so. Kind of goes to show what kind of mother she is. Maybe, I don't know, not too good.
Yeah. A little rough.
We still love you.
A little rough there. Still love you. So we got Brandon Perea too. So this is like his first big feature. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Peele, like they brought him in. And so apparently when Jordan Peele wrote that character, he wrote the character completely different. So that character was supposed to be like a nerdy, hey guys, how can I help you today? Like, welcome to fries. Like he's supposed to be like that. But Brandon was like, he thought like, oh, well, fucking whenever I go to a retail store, everyone looks like they don't want to be here.
Yeah.
You know, they're fucking miserable. So that's the character he played. Like he built something completely different.
You just saw everything that he like every person that he saw at a retail store and just emulated that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then after he did that screen with that read with Jordan Peele, he was supposed to do it again, but I guess in front of the producers or whatever.
Right.
Brandon thought it was supposed to be like an improv session, but he was supposed to read the script. He's like, oh, I didn't memorize it. You know, and then Jordan's like, oh, well, he's like, I kind of need you to do that. And he's like, because if I just go based off of what you did before, I'm going to have to rewrite my whole script. And then he's like, Brandon's like, ooh, he's like, I want you to do that. And then Jordan's like, you know what? I'm going to do that. Because he loved that character more than the one he wrote. So he wrote that whole character all over again and all the interactions with everyone else.
Jesus Christ, to rewrite a whole thing just because you want this character in there. How much, like, you have to go through the entire script and say, okay, now he's got to do this, he's got to do that with that kind of person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but I mean, it can be done.
But if you know what you want, you know what you want after
it can be
hearing
done.
whatever it is that happens, and that's exactly what you want in the script.
I think it goes perfect. It goes a lot easier when the actor is doing a very good performance and they are very well in tune with how the character is. It becomes so much easier. Just like you can get more than half the script in a fucking
when Jordan Peele gets his characters down, he gets like an idea of what he wants,
right?
But he doesn't try to push it on them the whole movie.
Exactly.
So it's like he wants the actors to kind of to find themselves, yes. and then he's like, at some point you're gonna know the character more than me, and I'm just gonna move the story along, and you just be the character.
Yeah, because he's setting a base point for these characters,
which is great, which is very unique because most directors try and control every single aspect, including the actor's character.
Yeah.
So he gives the actors a little bit of freedom there to bring that character to life.
The worst is when the director keeps flipping about how they want the character to be, and the actor just, that's why you get, you get a bad performance every once in a while, because like, well, I was doing what I was told, and the director, or the writer.
The director asked me to do something that was out of character.
Yeah. Like, but from what I hear, Jordan Peele, when it comes to him doing his work and everything, such a cool guy to freaking work with.
He looks like it.
Dude, he's the coolest.
He
just seems like
everybody
a really cool
says
guy.
that he's always joking around and doing all this kind of stuff. Like, he's a cool person to work with no matter what.
Right. 100%
Like, if he tells you what he wants and everything like that, and if you have a suggestion, he'll actually hear you out. If he likes it, he'll be like, all right, let's roll with that.
If it's dumb, he's like, that's dumb, keep going.
Actually, there are people that say that he's very blunt when it's something
good.
like that.
And that's good.
And that's
but
how he'll be.
But his mind is always firing too.
But it's not that he's saying it negatively.
He's
He's
just,
saying it as like,
I just don't agree with
it. Just
it.
doesn't work out, kind of that. But he does it in his way, and I think that's actually really cool. And I've never, from some of the actors that I've heard, they don't have a problem with Jordan when he does his thing on.
That's
set
a really rare thing to find with a director,
and that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah.
He lets the characters unfold. That's the best part. He's like, because all he's really there to do is push a storyline.
Yeah,
so. I mean, that's great. He lets the characters evolve and grow throughout the whole production of the movie, which is, I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're supposed to have in order for the audience to really relate and develop a sense of like emotional investment. Yeah. You see the character development, like how the character was and how they are now throughout the story, however long the time frame is, and people get related to that. You're like, oh, that's how I am, or whatever.
I didn't know this, but Daniel Kaluuya, when he gets into character, he stays in character.
The whole set, the whole filming?
Time.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
The whole time. So the first thing that came to mind when I heard that was Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Jesus.
Why?
Because he's like, because like Ben Stiller's character is like, well, why are you still in character then if this is real? He's like, man, I don't break character till the DVD commentary. I was really hoping he would say that. Like, he's so funny.
Yeah,
that was rough.
There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of actors that stay in character through even outside of the.
Yeah,
I think Daniel Day-Lewis is still
Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's still in character from the last film.
Yeah,
and some of them actually.
Jim Carrey's done that before.
Oh, yeah?
Some of them actually lose their
done
lines too.
Yeah, because you stay in character. That's the issue.
It's funny you say that because of what Johnny Depp actually was quoted as like that's the occupational hazard of it. These characters sort of stay with you. They don't really go anywhere.
Everybody just did so amazingly.
Yeah, Brandon Perea, Stephen Yeun.
Oh God, Stephen Yeun.
You know who I was really excited to see in this movie? As soon as I heard his voice, and
Michael Wincott.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was so excited when I heard his voice. You didn't even see him, and I heard his voice. I'm like, I know you.
I know that fucking voice. Yeah.
Like the voice came out first. You're like, I know who that is.
He's got such a cool fucking voice.
He has the
dude.
best voice.
Because I recognize him. Obviously, he's been in The Crow. He was a top
Crow,
dollar, the main bad guy.
Yeah.
He was in Dead Man, one of the bounty hunters that was sent to go after Johnny Depp's character.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was in a movie called...
he was in Alien Resurrection even.
Was he?
Yeah, he gets killed in the very beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in a movie called Before Night Falls with Javier Bardem.
I hear that. I haven't seen that, but I hear that's absolutely incredible.
It's a great movie.
Like the main bad guy, and
he's a villain. I think in
The Crow.
That's what you
yeah,
said.
he's a villain in basically
The Crow, right?
Yeah.
in every movie he's in. He's kind of like a villain.
Because I'm like,
So this is like one of the first movies ever that he's not really a villain.
Yeah.
So
But it's so great to see him do so.
I know. I was like, man, right when I heard his voice, it's like I haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was
where
so
was
excited.
what has he been up to?
Yeah.
He doesn't call me anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't
Son of a
buy
bitch.
my movies anymore. Like, what the fuck?
God damn it.
But yes, I was so happy when I saw him. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. It's just a great cast and everyone's like, just a great fucking performance, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great performance. And there was only one scene with the mains in it. So Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, Brandon Perea, and Stephen Yeun. There was only one scene. It was that one scene where they were all far apart and like they're yelling at each other back and forth. And Jordan Peele was saying that like it's kind of sad that like they only had that one scene together, but it's also like it was very funny.
It was
that was the one scene they had together.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I'm doing a thumbs up. Should I do it too? I like when he's like, bye, thanks for stopping by. You do not live here.
You do not leave here.
Oh, man. Jordan Peele is just an amazing character, from being funny to being serious, It's just
Well, it's interesting because no one saw him ever doing horror movies. I mean, because obviously we don't know him on a personal level. So the only thing we know Jordan Peele from is comedy.
Right.
So when he made Get Out, it was like it kind of like shocked like pop culture. Like wait, you're a comic guy.
Yeah.
You're a comedy guy. And then he makes a fucking one of the most iconic horror thriller movies of all time now. I mean, we can't talk about like the thriller like horror genre without bringing up Jordan Peele. He's only made 3 movies now, but he's set such like a precedent for that whole genre that like now everyone has to step up their game.
Yeah, he really
I mean, just
did.
look at the whole iconic now sink, and it just that's literally one of the most terrifying sequences to ever exist in a thriller movie. And it's not even like a horrifying sequence with like monsters or anything. It's like
the the psyche of humans.
Yeah, the psyche of it. It messes you up. Like that's a therapist that you're supposed to be trusting, and she's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Your whole life, just flush it down. You're fucked.
Yeah.
One of the things I also wanted to talk about is the area that they filmed in, out in the desert, just
Agua Dulce.
completely blank.
Did they actually film in Agua Dulce? I didn't look this up because I was only looking up like interviews really with Jordan Peele and the rest of the cast. I didn't look up anything about where they actually filmed.
I don't know if it was Agua Dulce, but them being out in like the desert and them like, it's in the middle of nowhere, and they have all these wacky inflatable things.
What's the fuck? Oh my God, I'm blanking.
Family Guy thing?
Yeah.
I know you can do
Wacky
it.
Wave Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man. Wacky Wave Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man. Hi, Al Harrington here from Wacky Wave Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Warehouse and Emporium.
David used to do this back in the day, and he was really like.
You would always do that.
Way better
Josh.
than what he did it right now. Way better than he did it right now. It was
hearing
so
it from Josh over
good.
and over again is why I memorized it. Yeah.
I like when they stepped up their game and they changed it for Blue Harvest, and it's Darth Harrington. Hi, thank you for Harrington.
But out in the desert, middle of nowhere, a bunch of freaking
crudely painted, not so funny plywood.
Exactly those. Just their idea because of the ship in the sky. When it came around, it would turn off the electrical, and they would measure where it would come from, all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was really freaking cool
So-
of them to do so.
Since we're kind of like on that topic, do you think that it scared you more that it went from like an alien movie to kind of like a creature feature? I think that was more nerve
To
wracking.
me, when I started seeing the UFO in the sky, I'm like, okay, alien. But then when I saw the ship actually morphing into a something like a parasite or whatever the hell it is,
We'll talk about that later, but just what
what
did you think about
spooked?
what did you
Like,
think about the shift? Because the whole
that
ti-
shit scared me.
the whole time, right? We assume that it's a spaceship, but
Yeah.
for some reason, it moves in such a way that it almost seemed like it was living. It was really like when it's chasing OJ
So
the first time, and you see it hovering through the clouds, and it's kind of like hiding, and then it covers around, and
The crazy
it's
thing
like
is, like,
looking
you
like
always-
peering down.
you
Yes.
always hear people give off of when they see UFOs that it goes and then it stops and then it takes up like another direction and does the
Well,
thing,
they say
like,
because it moves in a way that's not, it doesn't make sense.
that
It
doesn't
breaks the
make
laws of
sense
physics.
It
because-
breaks the laws of physics. For
Yes.
one, they can't hear it, and then it
There's
it
no-
stops and goes with no
Noise.
no braking.
Yeah.
like it
Exactly.
just immediately stops and
you know,
goes.
it just stops and goes.
This
but
is
it
a
also
little-
can change its direction.
But this is a
you know
little
what I
bit
mean?
different because it looks like when you see it in the cloud, like when OJ's looking at it from the barn when he's hiding from it, and you see it through the clouds with the moonlight.
Yeah.
It's kind of like trying to still hide behind the clouds, but it's like peering through, and then it kind of like scuttles, and then it stops and looks again, which is like an animal characteristic,
Yes.
Yeah.
not necessarily like UFO. So it's kind of weird because you're like, why is it doing that?
That's right.
Right?
man. Yeah.
You're like, why is it doing that? And then later we find out that it is actually a living entity,
Yeah.
which is fucking that
That's
whole
why I was like parasite kind of ordeal. It
yeah.
was
So
just,
let's jump to that scene. Let's jump to the Jupe scene.
All right.
So this is like where the movie gives us its spectacle. And the whole time, this literally, they tell you what's happening the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like they're letting you know, like, oh, like it's too big to be like an aircraft. And they tell you that it's like a spaceship. And then Jupe, like, he's like, when you leave here, you're going to be different. You're going to see a spectacle. And for sure, that scene at Jupiter's Claim is
It's-
100% a spectacle because it's impossible to look away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're just reminding me right
It's
now. And I'm just getting a
impossible
little, like,
it's impossible to look away
It's fucking freaky.
when this is happening. So Jupe is like, he's been feeding this fucking spaceship for 6 months.
Fucking crazy bastard, dude.
So-
like,
We know for a fact that he's known of its existence for 6 months.
Yeah. So he's been.
We don't know
killing
exactly how much longer it's been here
Right.
than that. And so when it's coming down to Jupiter's Claim, and then it like sucks everyone up, and then Jupe's like looking up, and like we have his co-host, and like her like veil is flipping up, and you see her like
Her face.
scarred
She's like-
face. You know,
Yeah.
it's all a spectacle. It's hard. It's impossible to look away.
Mhm.
And then when they show you the inside, right?
Oh man.
They show you like what is happening, which is like what I'm just gonna take a step back. So the opening sequence is literally the mouth. And you have no idea when you start the first time you ever watch this movie, you have no idea what's happening.
yeah.
Right.
Right? So they're hinting the whole time that this is the spectacle. And then the last thing that you see before the credits roll in or whatever is the man on the horse. And so now we're seeing the mouth and we're seeing people getting sucked into it. And now there's like all this crazy, like, there's people screaming. It's red. And like, you see one lady, she's getting sucked and she's like getting like, starting to get like eaten and like, what do they call it?
Consumed?
Digested, right?
Yeah.
She's starting to get digested and you could hear people screaming. And at one point you hear someone like, it's burning. Like, it's terrifying. And then like the lady looks up. I'm not sure if you guys caught this or not. There's like a horse's head there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because this thing's like running around with people still being digested. So if you think about it, when it's flying around Otis, you hear like
Dude,
the
you're talking
screaming,
about it. It's kind of creeping me out a little bit right now.
You hear when
Seriously.
it's flying around the
God
thing,
damn it.
when it's flying around like the Haywood Ranch,
Right.
you hear the screaming because it's digesting people.
Yeah.
God damn.
So that whole scene, like I remember watching that, I'm like, this is absolutely terrifying, and it went from just being like a movie about aliens to being like a full-on like alien creature flick,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. I love that transition.
So for me, obviously, being on shrooms, it was just really started to hit. For me, it was that scene at first. Prior to that was the Gordy scene. You got to see what really happened and everything like that. And it was just like, holy fuck, man. And so I'm like trying to pace myself. I'm like, okay, the movie, I'm like, that might be the worst of it, but just be prepared. There might be a little something more. And for sure, there was something more. It was a fucking, that whole, them being abducted, dude, honestly, it was the visuals, and it was especially the audio.
Oh,
the sound.
The audio is the best part.
Jesus.
Not gonna lie, that scene would not be as good
If it wasn't for the sound.
if it wasn't for the sound.
Yeah.
The sound is what keeps the terror and the
Exactly.
suspense
And
and
that's
the
what I was
thrill,
feeling, man. I was
and it
like,
keeps
shit,
you on the edge of your
shit.
seat because all you hear the cries of people. Like, so audio is like audio I believe is a little bit more important than visual sometimes.
I think so.
So
Because there's always that fear.
but
that,
when he beautifully melded like both of them together.
I
So
did.
you see her, that one person they really focused on just
Yeah.
being consumed, and like you hear the everyone's fear all around her. Fucking amazing.
If that scene lasted like anything longer, I for sure would have
It would've
just
been
like
rough.
freaked out and like
Oh,
ran
man,
This
back.
movie
yeah,
was-
that is-
This movie has gotten both positive and negative review. Mostly negative. The negative reviews were mainly for stuff like this, like that was because unsettling.
Because people are
with,
fucking stupid.
because the stuff with Gordy, they're like, oh, it was so like it was unnecessary and crazy violent. And I'm like, if you didn't understand the relation from Gordy to the UAP, the fucking jean jacket character, then you didn't interpret that correctly. Which I think the whole Gordy setup, I understand some people don't think it was necessary. I think it's 100% necessary to line up everything for Jean Jacket.
It was.
Yeah. So this guy, that's a whole nother thing, right?
It's
So
kind of fucked up, but at the same time,
his whole thing is he survived based off a bad miracle.
yeah.
Right. So the shoe that stood on end, it was just a bad miracle. So he focused on the shoe and didn't look Gordy dead in the eye, and he survived that. And then Gordy kind of like snapped out of it when he noticed young Jupe there in fear,
He was like, yeah.
and was just like kind of
He was
came
like,
back, and he was going to give him a fist bump. He was like, "We're good."
he's like, I killed everybody else, not you.
Because
He's like, fuck you,
he
fuck you,
realized-
fuck you.
he realized
You're cool.
he realized the fear.
Yeah.
Jupe wasn't looking right at him. He was kind of like mainly focused on the bad
shoe.
miracle, the shoe.
Yeah.
Gordy was like pushing the bodies, like if he didn't realize what was going on, like
Making
it's
sure
like
they're
not
dead.
knowing your own strength kind of ordeal. Like you fucked up, dude. Like
I don't even want to get into how powerful chimpanzees are.
Yeah, dude.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like in that whole sequence there, that whole the last sequence with the Gordy, like you can hear like all the carnage, like the visceralness of it.
It is
Like he's
just
like
so brutal.
when the co-host is on the ground, right, and he's like slamming on her,
Hear-
and then you could hear him tearing skin off. So
Yeah.
that's why like the audio is very important, because you hear him mutilating this person,
yeah,
and
no,
why he's
for
like all
sure.
covered in blood. Like
now, I didn't count how many bodies there were, but it seemed like quite a few that this guy
I think
tore up.
I think he killed the husband, the father, and the daughter is the one that was mutilated.
Yeah.
Didn't they pan to like a
Yeah.
side where, I guess maybe somebody was alive and he started getting them too or something like that? I
That was
couldn't
the
remember.
dad.
The dad, yeah.
Oh, the
He
dad.
ran
The
down
dad
the
ran
stairs.
back on set.
Yeah.
He was
Gotcha.
away. I don't know why he ran back on set. No one really knows why he ran back on set.
Because he realized that the co-star, they were missing 2 co-stars. I'm like, wait, did everybody get out of the fucking studio?
Yeah.
Ran back in?
And so that was a fucking
it's like-
mistake.
Hey man, a chimp will fuck you up so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, no, for
Any
sure.
size
Most
chimp
I don't
will fuck
understand
you.
why people just don't. They think, oh, it's a chimp. They're cute.
Yeah,
like,
they're- yeah.
that thing will kill you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rip your
It
fucking
will
face off
kill
and eat
you,
it.
dude. Kill you.
Yeah.
That whole sequence was fucking incredible, and the whole Jupe gets saved by a bad miracle, and they talk about bad miracles the whole movie, and then he takes all that spectacle that was like traumatizing. He took that and he profited off of it. Obviously, that's not cool to profit
Yeah.
off of
Something that
profit off
terrible.
of that type of trauma.
Yeah.
But I like how in his room he had the shoe in the same position that it was. It was upright.
Yeah.
He's definitely suffering from trauma, right? And he's kind of like looking for comfort, but he doesn't know how to ask for it. He doesn't know what to say. But he also at the same time, he wants to make money on it. So he's like in a weird place.
Yeah, there was so many different things that just like got you thinking about the movie. So many freaking scenes where I'm just like, fuck, it freaked me out. Sometimes it just freaks me out. Because then, like, now that I think about, like, aliens, what if that thing is actually alive when it fucking comes over? Because we don't know anything about, like, just
That's his twist that I absolutely loved, was that it's not a ship. It's alive. That was the best part. Because we were just like, oh, it's a thing, and then there's dudes in there.
Yeah, no.
Turns out there's like 40 dudes in there being digested.
Right? Jesus.
Not to mention the horses. That guy's been feeding this thing horses every day for 6 months. No wonder there's a shortage of horses in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that whole time when OJ's talking to Jupe, he's talking about possibly buying the horses back, and then Jupe's like, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He's feeding this thing horses. So in the beginning, though, with Keith David, there was all this debris, right? So we don't even know how long this thing has been here even before that, because it wasn't just coins that fell out. There was a bunch of random metal objects also. You know,
Pocket change.
Yeah. There was so much stuff falling from Jean Jacket that it's like, how long has it been here? How many people has it consumed? Where it's like, where'd all this stuff come from? So I mean, we don't know. And then I like how he leaves a lot of it to be a mystery. So it really keeps the mind guessing.
I think that's what pissed a lot of people off too.
A lot of people want closure when they leave a movie. Sometimes I like, not always. Sometimes I like a little bit of, I have to think of it myself. You know, people don't want that. They're like, you're a director, you do the thinking for me, you son of a bitch.
I paid you to watch this movie.
Sometimes you just gotta let your imagination run wild with whatever.
Yeah, like
you think.
even
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
This is George's.
Even the scene with OJ at the end, is OJ dead or is he alive?
That's one. Yeah, that's.
So there's a lot. Then I mean, you could take that either way. You could be like, because we don't actually see Jean Jacket consume him.
Okay, so you saw the theory too, then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, even at that, I was just like, well, is he alive or dead? Because we know that like he saw his dad kind of the same way. Maybe she's seeing OJ and he's like out yonder. He's like, now he's out yonder.
It's the name of the drink.
Hey, out yonder. Cheers, boys.
Out yonder.
Cheers, boys.
Clink.
Clink.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Is this better the second time?
better.
around? Yeah.
better.
Okay, so it's got to be shaken up. So we
Shake
roll
it.
that out.
Shake it, not stirred.
Yeah. Scared.
So let's talk about Hoyte van Hoytema.
Hoyte van Hoytema.
Yeah, Hoyte van Hoytema. So he's the cinematographer. So Jordan Peele went to Hoyte because like he has done some of the most iconic movies. He did Dunkirk, Ad Astra, Tenet. I just want to run through it really quick because this is fucking insane. Kenzo, Spectre, Interstellar, Her, Call Girl, The Fighter, Bad Fate. He has so many. Let the Right One In, the original.
Yeah, it's the original. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's done so many. Ooh. He's done so many movies where I remember watching it. I'm like, the cinematography is fucking off the chain. It's so good.
I did get hard with the cinematography and
Jordan Peele asked him how he asked him how he would shoot it. Right? He's like, how will we shoot? And he explained the movie to him. He's like, oh, I'd shoot it on IMAX. So IMAX is a very, very, I don't remember the specifications and doesn't help that we've been drinking. Yeah. But IMAX is a very, very specific set of specifications, like for like the lens and whatnot. But they only shot a few scenes with IMAX cameras, and I think the rest was done on like 60 mil. And then when they projected on the 70. So they shot the opening sequence with Gordy, all in IMAX. Then they shot the spectacle in IMAX. So like the whole scene at Jupiter's Claim.
Yeah.
Right. And
they shot the climax, like the whole ending sequence at Haywood Ranch is shot on IMAX. And the rest is like on the 60 mil. What makes that very unique is that those IMAX sequences pop and they're very like in depth. Like there's a lot more sharpness to those cameras, and it's a very wide like frame, and like it's perfect for feature films. And I think that when he captured those sequences, like all those spectacles, perfect for IMAX.
Right.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, I was really blown away. One of my favorite scenes, like when OJ's riding the horse through that little maze of they have the wacky wave of inflated water and playing two mans, and the camera, it starts off, it almost like catches him as he's turning. Him and the horse are turning, and it like rides with him. It's behind his back, over the shoulder at a high angle kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's riding along with him, and he's like going through, and you can see him like have to duck down underneath the inflatable guys, and the camera almost does the same as well. It's like it was just really, that whole shot was just really cool to me. I was like, man, it's fucking beautiful because I was so high. But yeah, it was really fucking cool.
This whole movie was shot beautifully. Even the scenes that weren't done with IMAX cameras, like the way that they captured the night sequence was fucking beautiful
with the blue filter.
Yeah, well, not like they had to do something different to capture the real element of nighttime. So it's like in the beginning, like when OJ first goes outside, it's so incredibly dark.
Yeah,
and with the duration of the whole time he's out there, his view gets a little better, so the camera gets better, so it lightens up because his eyes adjust.
I didn't notice that.
It's so fucking awesome.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't notice that either.
I was just focusing on like the blue sort of filter.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
like,
doing too.
All that's amazing.
Because not a lot of films do that.
The attention
anymore.
to detail, because obviously when they're doing all the stuff, it's at nighttime, right? At the beginning, it's all at nighttime. So he really wanted to capture that like real experience.
Because obviously, the filters were a thing to.
Filters are they always use like one of those like blue filters for like a night sequence, and they'll shoot a shot during the day.
Because,
not always, but I mean,
because obviously the cameras got better, the lighting got better, and they have different things set up. So you don't necessarily need that blue filter to symbolize that it's nighttime now. But back in the old days when they had the crank redos, like
I mean, they were doing that I think all the way up to 2000. They would shoot during the day, and they would just throw a blue filter on it.
Sure, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's actually very interesting.
That's like a little bit more like a lower budget thing, because then like but I'm saying that technique has been used like for like 100 years.
Yeah, ever since film became a thing.
Yeah,
fucking cool as shit. To tell you the truth,
I gotta say, like Michael Wincott's character of creating his own camera for like the hand crank thing was just.
Oh, I fucking love that so much.
Yeah, it was so
that
fucking
was actually.
Cool. And then like I told you he was gonna bring a non-electric camera.
That was like the most energetic
part. That was so funny.
I loved it.
For OJ, like that was
he was just like all pumped, like pop, 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 pop.
That was it.
I do gotta say, some of the comedy that was inside, because there was still comedy in this.
I was laughing throughout, especially in scenes when I shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
yeah. His movies are not. It's not just like a straight horror flick.
It's not a straight.
It's
horror
so. It touches on so many genres.
Mm-hmm. For me, I found myself laughing hysterically when I shouldn't have been, when the ship sort of dumps its load of blood on the house.
Yeah, those shrooms.
I couldn't find any information on this, but everyone says that it's shitting. I think it's vomiting, because when it shits, it usually just shits the metal stuff,
right?
Because it's excreting it.
Yeah.
Right. And here, I think that like it had just consumed everyone at Jupiter's Claim, and I think it was just so full that it couldn't consume anymore. So it was like a snake, like vomiting up, like regurgitating that stuff so it can eat again. That's just my assumption. I couldn't find anything on it, but everyone says that it's shitting. I'm like, I have to disagree.
I don't think it was shitting though.
I don't think it was shitting.
Yeah.
But that whole sequence in itself was like, it was
beautifully shot, man.
It was so
because
shot.
they're inside the house and like the window
shot so well.
Yeah, you could see like the light coming in from the window, and then it just starts decorating the wood inside the house.
Yeah,
obviously because of the glass, and then you look outside and it's just pouring blood, and I'm laughing like fucking crazy. I love shit like that, dude. I don't know why, man.
It's great.
David
and I, whenever we go see a movie, sometimes David and I were laughing the whole time throughout. We went and saw the Joker, and we were laughing like it was a comedy, and people were quiet. It was just us laughing.
Nobody fucking laughed, dude. And we're laughing.
We're just laughing our asses off from start to finish.
When the dwarf is like trying to get out of the house and he can't reach the top block.
Oh my god!
Nobody fucking.
I
laughed
can
at
only
that.
imagine everybody's like on edge watching this fucking movie.
And then we're like,
Jesus. You got two fucking guys in the back
That are high
fucking
on
laughing their
shrooms, man.
asses off. Everybody in the audience are like, okay, so we know who the psychos are in the fucking theater right now. Are the ones
I was
that are
worried
laughing
because there
at
was like this.
what's
Like, do
going
any of
on.
those guys have pink hair?
Yeah, I was worried. That's a good one. I was worried because I was like, there was like some people sitting like kind of next to me. I was really worried that like at some point in the film they're gonna be like, dude, why the fuck are you laughing? Like, man, I'm high on shrooms. Leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to enjoy a film.
That whole sequence is like, even after Jupiter's Claim, when he's going back, right? He tells them like it killed them, it ate all of them, and he's in the truck, right? And he's driving up, and like everything dies, and
That
he's there.
song, dude.
Oh,
I'm never gonna listen to that song the same way again.
it's so.
I were
My son was. He took a song that we love. It's a fucking popular.
An iconic song.
It's a very iconic song, and he made it unlistenable now. And he did the same thing with us. I got 5 on, and he fucked that up.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
shit.
Oh,
God damn it, dude. You know what, Jordan Peele? No, you're not
forgot
cool
about
anymore.
that.
Stop making movies.
And you know what's funny? Someone asked him, "It's like, can you listen to these songs the same way?" And he's like, "No." He's like, he fucked it up for himself too.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
He's
Son of a bitch.
Because
definitely gonna
it's
remember
now
something like
there's
that.
imagery there.
Yeah.
Now you've attached something like crazy, traumatizing visual
To
that
this
song.
piece of, yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Oh,
two
boy.
there's two sensories there that you really fucked up. But I love that scene where he pulls up, the car's dead, and it's right above him, and he's like, kind of looks out the truck, and he opens the door, and you hear, he's like, nope.
no, that no.
I love that.
Absolutely not.
I guess it's kind of what Tarantino did with Stuck in the Middle with You.
Oh yeah.
This is that same way again, you know? Like just
That's true. I
think what Tarantino
That's
did
funny
was a
that you
little
mentioned
more.
that too, because when I heard that song the other day, it was on the radio.
But
all
that's
I
also
kept
kind of
thinking
fun
was
though.
Mr. Blonde cutting off an ear.
It's so crazy, but he does it in such a fun manner. You're like, cut the other one off.
yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fucking nuts, dude.
So what did you guys think of the ending sequence with Jean Jacket and Jean Jacket's natural form?
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure. Like I have no clue. To be honest, I have no clue. But it was such a cool scene.
It was really cool to watch, but at the same time, for me, it just, I mean, obviously I'm high, and I'm like trying to make sense of it all. I'm like, why would it need to like feast on human flesh to sustain itself when it doesn't even have like it? Well, it doesn't even make any fucking physical sense. Like it doesn't have like, like it just there's no like grinding machines.
I don't get it.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like just visually pleasing in the sound and the sheer like everything that we've been through that at that, you know, when you get to that ending point, it's like I honestly don't give a shit. Whatever the fuck it is whatever it is, and how it's gonna end is how it's gonna end.
Yeah,
And I'm just on board for the ride.
Did you see anything on this? Like, have you on the ending of it or whatever?
What do you mean?
So,
He's asking if you looked up anything about the ending.
yeah,
Oh, about the ending?
yeah.
Not really, because I didn't want to like. I wanted to keep my own perspective on it.
Yeah. That's what I did too.
I'll
That's
probably
exactly what I
at
was
least
like.
at least before I did the review, I'll probably go and watch it now. You know, because I don't want someone's like someone's interpretation of it to influence mine.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
perspective.
And I couldn't make heads or
Yeah.
tails of it. I just know when I looked up certain things, a lot of people had different ideas about it. But I didn't watch it. I just like left it to my own imagination. I thought it was just amazing the fact that she had that, you know.
Real quick, I know George is gonna love this, dude. That whole little callback to Akira.
Oh yeah, I definitely wanted to bring.
got my
dick
I wanted to bring that up.
hard,
Did you
bro.
know? Did you know that Jordan Peele was supposed to direct the live action Akira? So remember like I think it was like 10 years ago they announced like, oh, we're gonna do a live action Akira movie.
Yeah.
He was supposed to direct it.
I think he should.
He want because if he does it, he wants to make it his own.
So
it means
not based off the manga, not based off
so
the
it's
anime.
like that's why he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to disrespect the thing. But to be honest, he loves that movie a lot. Like he talks about like anime and like it being like in it like
a
an
weeb.
inspiration, you know, being an inspiration and being influential. And that's part of the reason he put that in there. You know, it's like a little nod to like
cool because like we're like on board.
and it was
watching.
really it was done well. Like the slide was perfect, right?
It was man,
I loved it.
Frame for frame, dude.
I didn't know that this dude liked anime and like goes to Comic-Con like a lot.
Shit, man.
He goes like to WonderCon, Comic-Con, like he does all these fucking things and all this stuff. I had no idea.
But yeah, when that scene happened, I was just like just jaw dropped.
I was super happy.
I don't think I've ever done like in a live action sequence because everything you ever seen
I always see it animated.
animated.
Always see it animated.
Yeah.
I think this, for me at least,
I think
it
this
was
is
the
the
first. My first. I don't know. Like, I mean, don't quote us or anything. We don't know if it's been done, and if it has been done,
Show us.
this
tell
was
us.
way better.
Yeah.
Like, it was so smooth. It was so
Man,
smooth, and
badass,
Kiki
dude.
Palmer's her whole look when she did it was solid.
Fucking
Loved it. What I want to talk about. Do you believe
An aliens?
that jean jacket at the end of the movie when it consumed the Jupe's big balloon?
Yep.
Do you think that it should have exploded? I hear
Might be
so much. I hear a lot of
This might be
controversy over this one
controversial.
thing. So please tell me your guys' thoughts on this,
Okay.
and then we're gonna wrap up with this because we're running short on time.
Yeah,
Yes.
we will wrap up on this. I actually do believe that it should have exploded. That's the way I feel about it. I mean, like the way it was going around about it and everything like that after like the balloon was being like consumed and everything. I think like if it has like a digestive system of whatever the fucking thing has or whatever, I think it should have exploded. I think it should just fucking popped.
Why?
I don't know. I think it would have went for like an amazing thing. I don't know. It's just like how I felt about it. I think it should have just like it's a big a fucking balloon, dude. Like
What about you, David?
I guess. Well, now that he said that, I mean, when you think about like like Jawbreaker, you can't just put the whole thing in your mouth and bite down. You're gonna.
But that's solid, and this is a balloon.
Well, that thing is also a balloon as well, kind of thing.
Okay.
So as it's trying to digest.
So this is the argument for some people. The big thing was like it doesn't eat non-organic material, so that's why it always shits out like coins and whatnot, metal.
But with the horse,
So a lot
remember,
of
it got it, like
a lot of controversy. People were saying like it was just a balloon. How come it couldn't just squish it and then swallow it? Part of the issue is those balloons are filled with hydrogen. So, like those big like advertising balloons.
filled with hydrogen.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be helium.
I was just looking it up right now, and it says most of them are filled with hydrogen. I'm assuming some of them are filled with helium.
Okay.
But
So don't go smoking near them.
exactly. So just think about so it's incredibly flammable.
Yeah.
Now let's think about what the digestive tract is. The digestive tract is like a bunch of things that are moving, and so there's a lot of friction.
Yeah.
You also have to think that there's also now there's metal in there, from the other bodies. So my theory was that when it ate Jupe's balloon and it tried to put it in its digestive tract, that a spark had happened. Right? It just maybe a couple coins hit or something, and we got a spark, and there's hydrogen, and just blew the whole fucking thing up. Or even the friction from the digestive tract, because it looks like the digestive tract is like, it looks like it's like bands on four sides.
Yeah,
they're always moving, so that's causing friction.
Yeah.
So maybe the friction itself up against the vinyl from the balloon, maybe caused a spark there.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming that a spark was made that set off the helium, and that just blew the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So that's just my theory. I don't know whether or not that's true.
Well, that's
Up for interpretation.
It is up for interpretations. I know a lot of people felt kind of unsatisfied with Jean Jacket's death, and I was like, I kind of love it because it was a little iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little like right on the nose. Like
It's almost like
fucking Jupe was gonna exploit Jean Jacket for profit, and then Jean Jacket consumed Jupe, and now Jean Jacket consumed Jupe, and then died.
Yeah,
It's almost like
it's kind of funny.
you know, the scene in Steven Spielberg's Jaws. You know, the shark has a little oxygen tank in his mouth, and he's like, you know, come on, you son of a bitch, and he shoots it. It blows up.
Yeah, why not?
Oh shit!
Oh, hit us with the budget really quick. Give it to us in less than 60 seconds.
Sounds good. How about you guys take a guess at how much the budget for the movie was? David.
90 mil.
Sounds great. What about you?
I'm gonna go
Don't lowball me.
111.
No, it's actually $68 million.
Oh, way to go, Jordan!
$68 million
Wow.
that he fucking put into this
Love it.
movie.
And it's a fucking great movie. Okay.
It's a great movie.
It really is. So keep in mind, this movie is still growing. Okay.
Yeah, it's still making money.
Still making money.
I mean, right now, as this recording, it's been like a month and a half since it came out.
about a
This is
month and
gonna
a half.
come out in like 5 days, so it'll be about a month.
But yeah.
So we're just gonna get. I'm only giving you guys the box office of not when it came out, but like let's say about a month or so. Why don't you guys hit me with what you think it made so far?
So far, I want to say it's probably made like 140 mil.
140. What about you, Dave?
I was going to say 120, at least double its money.
120. Okay, so
I thought I
far, it's actually only made 101.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not bad.
They could
That's
do
not-
that.
it's still not bad.
It's not bad.
They broke
It's not
even
bad.
in a little bit. That's fine.
But just keep in mind,
You also have to imagine that horror is such a
Niche genre.
it is a niche genre.
it is. But the movie, the profit for this movie is actually still growing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it could hit a lot more. Like I predicted with the Top Gun, I said it was going to be in the billions. And what happened? Fucking in the billions, bitch.
it is in the billions, and that's fucking amazing. God damn. That's fucking.
And I really
crazy.
hope Jordan Peele. Yeah, I really hope your film fucking gets up there, at least up into fucking.
So
you know,
$68 million
$150
for the budget so far from the box office.
101 mil. But
And-
it's still
and
showing.
It's,
So
and it's still showing, and it's still growing. It's
Yeah.
still in theaters.
yeah,
That's correct.
So it will definitely go higher and higher. But you know what? That's still pretty fucking amazing.
that's good. I can't wait. I can't wait for the next Jordan Peele movie.
This guy
I
is
didn't
gonna
even
be-
mention this, but I had like a theory, and I wasn't the only person that had this theory that Jordan Peele is creating a movie, going to create a movie with his movie title names. So like, there's Get Out, Us, and now Nope, and I'm thinking that his big like
reveal.
magnum
Opus.
his magnum opus is going to be like a movie that has all those title names in it.
That'll be
But I'm not the
interesting.
only one with this theory. Apparently, there's a whole thread about it.
Okay.
So
But it would have to be out of order, huh?
I think it would have to be out of
Yeah,
order.
it doesn't really-
But all those would be.
Well, it depends on what other movies he makes along the line. Too.
we have no
It's like-
idea. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
we also
have
don't know how many
no
movies.
fucking
We don't know how
clue.
many movies he's gonna make.
His
So
next
it's-
movie. Me.
But it's not like. But it's not like. It, to be honest, this theory would work better for like Tarantino because he has a set number, so you can kind of like piece the words together.
Yeah.
But like Peele's like a newer director, so like he's only made 3 movies and his career is just launching.
It's
So we have
just
no
getting
idea.
started.
And he's in that horror genre. So I mean like he can technically make a movie like every 2 years. So who knows how many movies he can produce. I mean this movie was fantastic. You guys should definitely give it a shot.
Absolutely.
Go to theaters,
Take
support
some
your
shrooms.
local theater.
Eat some shrooms.
Yes.
Enjoy it the way I enjoyed it. Be terrified the way I was terrified.
If you just want a mild take on it, just watch it normally, unless you want to really freak
Be
out.
like Manny and ask questions during a fucking trailer. It's gonna throw me off my high. Thanks.
You're just gonna keep that on me?
Yes,
Just-
dude.
God damn you.
Well, that what you did was kind of dumb. So
Yeah.
you deserve it.
Yeah, like taking shrooms on a fucking whatever. Anyway,
I'm just gonna
Anyway.
force feed them to you next time so you can keep your mouth shut about stuff.
this stupid.
Anyway, if you guys really enjoyed our content, please hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we upload movies.
Do we have a social platform right now?
We do actually. We have Instagram, so it's at Not Your Everyday Critics. We have Facebook, which is just basically Not Your Everyday Critics. If you want to email us, you can email us and shoot us a message directly. You can say how gay Manny is, or you can tell us what your favorite movie is. And that's nyec.gsc@gmail.com. There should be a little link right there.
And leave us a remark in the comments. Let us know what movies that we should be critiquing on, or what everything you have like a preference on. We will do it no matter what it is. Just say hi or anything else. We love to hear from you guys. We hope you
cut all that out.
appreciate this fucking guy.
So, real quick, our next film that we're going to be reviewing is a movie called Prey that just came out on Hulu, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be coming out with a little quick video of making the drink that I made up specifically for this movie. So stay tuned for that, and then stay tuned for the review of that movie.
All right.
And as always, you guys.
Okay, bye. We're out of time, dude. We're fucking out. We got to start
Take care
packing
of
up.
yourselves, all right?
See you guys next
Till
time.
next time.
Till next time.